Last, but certainly not least, we have Tim McDiarmid. Am I pronouncing that right? Am I getting that right? What? I know, but am I pronouncing that right? I know she's a girl. Is it McDiarmid? Yeah. Okay. That's all I wanted. Thank you very much. Originally from the wilds of British Columbia on the west coast of Canada, she relocated to San Antonio after 17 years in New York City. She has a background in interior design, theater, and the culinary arts. Currently in San Antonio as a personal chef, a caterer, design consultant, and co-founder of the nonprofit Eat Smart, as well as co-founder of the multifaceted pop-up events known as the Special Projects School. Please welcome Tim, the girl, McDiarmid.
This is my birth certificate. Tim is my full, real, given name. I was named after a woman whose nickname was Tim. I've spent my life fielding questions, comments, and jokes. Hey girlie, is your dad Johnny Cash? Did those doctors forget to check for a penis when you were born? That's the best exchange I've ever seen. No, my name is not short for Timbalina, Timothy, or Timet. My name is Tim. I grew up in the hippie wilds of British Columbia in a geodesic dome. We had a huge garden, we had animals, my mother made our meals from said garden, and everyone canned, dried, and put up all kinds of things that were grown for the winter. My parents had many big parties where friends and family gathered to roast pigs, visit, and make merry. Our house was one of those that always had an open door. In my grown-up years, I spent 2 years living on a 100-acre organic farm that also functioned as a full-scale, horse-powered outdoor theater company. The population went from 2 in the off-season to 75 at the height of production times. We all pitched in to grow the food, put on pieces of theater. Our focus was in creating site-specific theater. This was our first special project. I'm sorry. And we were, these are the tables that Peter Zubiate, my partner, created. We decided to travel with these tables. Our original one was for Contemporary Art Month, and we decided that the tables and we needed to move around. So we started bringing these tables and doing these parties all over town. We had a community of a lot of people that decided to pitch in, and I'm sorry, I lost one of my pages. So we basically create these spectacle events that happen once. People get tickets, and you never know what's going to happen, what kind of stew. This is my food, and I really try to do fresh, clean, local produce, meats grown locally, and these are pictures of some of my food. I've tried to, thank you. I've tried to try to change this, go for the location. This was our first one, which I didn't realize till the last minute they didn't have a kitchen, and I did very picky, interesting food, but it was a little bit of a nightmare having to create the meal. Another piece of the special projects puzzle are the plates. They say necessity is the mother of invention. We needed a way to make guests want to take their own dishes home and save us the trouble of doing them, so we had the artist make them. The one on the bottom right is made by Nate Casey. He made it with hair collected from a previous show and glazed them. Some of that hair was mine. The guest visual artists for each event have free reign to create any body of work they want. They keep 100% of the proceeds from the sales. We love that we're introducing guests to local artists at spaces they have never been. Getting the community of San Antonio to reach beyond their typical comfort zone is what we love most about the projects. The art on the left is Cruz, and then on the right, Katie Pell. Nate Casey did this very site-specific piece for our year anniversary party we titled Head Case, as a playful way of showcasing our 2 crazy artists for the event, Nate and Angelina Mata. This little trailer just happened to be at the space, and Nate made it an interactive piece for the guests. This was one of my personal favorites, as it shows the play on SBS as a traveling show. What would any party be without music? We've been honored to have some of the most talented DJs and musicians in San Antonio join in the fun. We can't say exactly how we pick each one or how they fit into the social they're chosen for, but they do. They're an integral part of each production, and they're pleasantly surprised that they get to eat. Perhaps the most crucial piece of the puzzle is the location. We've done them in old warehouses, clothing stores, private homes, and even outside next to train tracks. We've had generous hosts invite us to completely transform their spaces. The best part is that the guests didn't get to know where they're going until the day before. We love interesting spaces. I especially love interesting spaces with kitchens. We are very grateful to those who invite us into their homes, businesses, and yards. We're equally appreciative of the guests who so boldly buy tickets not knowing where they'll land. We love that we broaden the comfort zone of those who love us, and when they show up and even when their dinner conversation is interrupted by very fast, very real trains. We are many. Our collective of talent is what has made us successful. This is one of my favorite all-time shots taken by our lovely and talented in-house photographer, Shalina Flores-Chasnoff, who's been with us since the beginning. She has a unique eye, and without her, we may not be able to believe what we actually created. She is the one that harnesses the many. This is a photo of the most recent setting, taken last week at the first special projects we'd had since late spring. This shows the talent of another integral part of this brand we have created. Our in-house graphic designer, Doris Palmeros, joined us 8 or 9 socials ago and has taken everything we do to a higher level, creating original graphics for each event and for our overall brand. She is what makes us whole. These are dishes from other chefs we've invited to join us. Our sous chef, Tanya Ellen Bates, from Partridge in the Pie Tree on the top left, has saved my life, as well as Ayan Wen Waldron, who joined us as our in-house pastry chef. We had one social that was all guests from around town. The next social will feature guest chef Jamie Lauren of Top Chef fame, an old friend of mine from LA. As well as incorporating guest culinary artists, we've also reached out to various designers to participate. Shown here on the left is my best friend, the talented Angeline Mata, and a piece from her show last year. She came and showed us the show that had just premiered at New York Fashion Week. On the right are Teal and Mario of the Richter Co. They were new to town and we invited them to share their wares. We are a stable of talent, a collective of force, and feel very lucky to be able to grow so haphazardly and have the freedom from usual confines. Being a single mother without family close by would not lend itself well to owning an actual restaurant, so I love that I can instead, with my San Antonio family, do it every so often. This is my master project. This was the hardest 16 hours of straight work I ever did, and look what I got. This is my son, Tappan. He is now 8 years old and sitting in the front row right there. He has been to many PechaKuchas and loves them. He is funny, smart, a talented artist and musician, and the love of my life.
That was great, and he is now the reddest faced person in the entire room. Thanks, Mom. Did you have to do that? Okay, so how did you get from British Columbia to New York to LA? And then...
I knew that was going to be the question. That would have to be another PechaKucha.
Okay, let's start one now. Was it...
Well, I mean, from where I grew up to New York was pretty easy. I was 20, and like, who wants to stay in the middle of nowhere, right? New York, I seemed like the obvious choice.
Sure.
And then to here, that really is a long story. Yeah.
You want to tell it? No. Okay. And how about the social, what is it?
Special project social.
And then...
We will maybe rename it school.
That'd be easier. But when people come to you, did they say, I want to do something with a group, you decide where it is, or they decide with you, or what?
Peter Zubiati and I, we, being the producers, we sort of decide from the beginning. Mm-hmm. Something, usually, someone offers a space, and then we go from there. So whether, we might have the artist picked out first, and then try to look for a space, but it's very...
And say, for example, that one by the train tracks.
Yeah.
What kind of group was that? And what were they celebrating? Was it?
There's not, I mean, random people buy tickets, and we tell them 24 hours before where they're going. So there's no actual pre-planned group ever.
But they don't get on a bus drunk, they have to actually drive to the event.
They have, but we don't, I mean, we do always joke, we're like, let's sell one that's in New York. And then we'll tell them the day before that's where it is. But no, I mean, it's never that. We will tell general vicinity if they really care. If they write me and they're like, where we live.
Okay, and how is it in San Antonio compared to New York, and how long have you been here?
How is San Antonio compared to New York?
I think, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm saying, but I think that was, how do you like it here?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. No, I mean, there's many, many good things. Really, there are many good things. I feel like there's lots of good opportunity, but there's some things that are a hard sell, you know? But that's not a bad thing. I mean, we've been doing these for a year and a half.
Oh,
and it's
okay.
just kind of starting to be like, okay, we put them on the market and they sell out. But
Okay.
in New York, doing this kind of thing, it would catch on
Faster
a
because
little
they're
faster.
hipper?
Well, I'm not saying hipper.
Oh, okay. Because look at these people here. This is the hippest group you'll ever see in San Antonio. Thank you very much, Tim McDiarmid.